There are a few different tipping points in sneaker culture, a moment that pushes this silly little hobby from one level to another. I made a whole video about the history of the Pigeon Dunks that no one cared about, no one watched, but that was a tipping point. The Tiffany Dunks that would later release that year was kind of another tipping point. The 2012 Foamposite Galaxies was a tipping point, you could say. And in 2005, the same year that the Pigeon Dunks as well as the Tiffany Dunks released, what an insane year that was. Jordan Brand teamed up with sneaker boutique Undefeated to come out with a shoe that was only limited to 72 pairs, and that served as another tipping point. It was the first collaboration in Jordan Brand history, and 20 years later, perhaps in an attempt to redirect the decline of performance for the past few years for Nike and Jordan Brand, they're reaching deep into the archives and bring back this absolute grail to the general population. Air Jordan 4 Undefeated. And this shoe first dropped on August 28th for $230 on sneakers. It actually dropped exclusively online at undefeated.com all the way back in August 2nd. Took me forever to finally get this shoe. We're almost like a month and a half past the first release date of this. And yeah, just took forever. But I've waited and it is worth the wait. Now the colorway of this shoe, it is inspired by the MA1 Fighter Pilot bomber jacket. So you see this olive green type of color as the base with hints of orange, as well as this Velcro patch on the tongue that is inspired by the jacket as well. And first impressions of the shoe, come on. This is not just historically significant, it is a beautiful shoe as well. I'm not just saying that because of the hype, because of how many people want this shoe. If you've seen my video on the Jordan 4 Craft Olive, you will know the significance of the color olive. For me, it is just one of my favorite colors, and this majority olive colorway, it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This shoe, this one that I have 20 years after release date, it is absolutely Michelin star rated, goddamn delicious. And the materials on the shoe, it is completely nubuck. The nubuck here feels good. So it is not like that kind of synthetic nubuck that they stuck on the Jordan 8s as well as the Black Metallic Reimagined, where you get that synthetic layer over it to try and create that original Durabuck feeling that the OGs had. This is just nice nubuck and it feels good. And for a special release like this one, for $230, an elevated price for now, maybe in the future, in the very near future, Jordan 4s might just be as a standard $230, but right now, $230 is a bit more than a standard Jordan 4. This feels good. And of course, you get the usual kind of netting on the sides over here, as well as these wings and eyelets. The wing over here actually has kind of a shinier aesthetic to it, so it's not like dull. This shoe does come with one extra set of laces, so black out of the box, orange as the extra set, plays into the colorway very well. Out of the two, I think I prefer the black laces. I think the orange just reminds me a little too much of like pumpkin and Halloween, so I like the black laces to go with the rest of the colors on the shoe, but honestly, can't really go wrong with either. I believe the originals from 2005 had 3 sets of laces in total, so they're shortchanging us by 1 pair, but try not to complain too much. And at the top of the tongue, you get this removable Flight Jumpman patch. So the Flight concept did originate on the Jordan 4s, and right under it, it says Jordan Rare Air. This is the first time Rare Air had ever appeared on a Jordan Brand shoe. Obviously, we got a bunch of Rare Air shoes in 2025. 2015, there were some Jordan 1s with Rare Airs. 2006, the Toy Yellow had the Rare Air as well. And honestly, I know it is part of the DNA and essence of this shoe, but I don't love that. I do not like this removable patch. I hate how sometimes your laces can get like stuck between the Velcro and the patch, and then you have to rip the laces off and it just starts to peel. I just don't love it. I would never wear the shoe without the patch anyway, so kind of wish they just kept it as a normal Jordan 4 tongue. But the tongue itself, it has this like satin finish over it, and then right behind the tongue, instead of an Air Jordan tag, you get this upside down Undefeated tag. And then moving on to the booty of the shoe, this is a pretty significant change compared to the 2005 version. So you get Nike Air branding on the heel tab. A lot of people might love that. General rule, non-OGs gets the Jumpman, and OG colorways as well as very special collaborations gets Nike Air. Now you could argue that this is a very special collaboration, so it deserves Nike Air, but at the time they actually wouldn't allow Nike Air branding on the shoe. So they had to go with the Jumpman. There were rumors that this year they were going to have 2 versions of this shoe, one Jumpman, one Nike Air. Ended up just being Nike Air. Out of the 2, can't really go wrong, honestly. I do generally, as a kind of rule and preference, I do prefer they kind of separate OGs versus like non-OG colorways, where the OGs are a little bit more special. They get Nike Air treatment. I think there's just something more significant and historic about OG colorways in general. But honestly, a Nike Air booty on the shoe looks great as well. Now, in terms of the heel tab itself, it is actually decently soft and springy. The SBs have like the softest type of booty tab that was designed specifically for skateboarding. They had like softer wings here as well. This one is more like a booty tab from like recent Jordan 4s. And there are definitely people out there, at most 72 people, unless someone got a foo-foo and there's more than 72. But at most 72 people out there who have the original version of this shoe. And they're like, yo, I paid so much money to have these crazy exclusive shoes. And you'll bring them back and you'll bring the value of my collection down. But relax. You still have the Jumpman on the back. You have some separation from the rest of us peasants. You are still more special than us. Let us have a chance to bask in the glory of this grail, even though it's not 100% the same. And in terms of the shape of the shoe, you see the toe box here actually is more slimmer and like sleeker. So they made it similar to the 1989 original version of the Jordan 4 shape. Now the 2005 version actually had the kind of boxier toe box. This one, you could say it's like true to OG, but not like the OG of this colorway because the shape would be different, but like true to OG of a 1989 version of the Jordan 4. And I do have to mention, I don't have the 2005 version like in hand. I'd be a very wealthy and rich person if I did, but a lot of the photos now of the original version of the shoe has a much darker shade of green that could just be like the discoloration over time. So it's hard to say if this retro exactly has like the exact same shade of green. Now, in terms of the cushioning, this shoe does come with a polyurethane midsole with a visible Nike Air unit, of course, as well as one on the forefoot. Speaking of the midsole here, you do get this kind of off-white sailish color on the latter half of the midsole. There was a sample that is actually all black on the midsole here, but the ones that originally came out, they just have this color. And in terms of the outsole, beautiful. Just a standard Jordan 4 outsole with Nike branding, like an OG colorway, even though this is not OG, but you get majority herringbone here with the black and orange color combination. Looks really, really good. Branding of the insoles, it is mismatched. Undefeated on one, Nike on the other. It is polyurethane insoles, very nice. The more you wear it, the more it molds to your feet. Definitely adds a little bit of comfort to the shoe. I would have been kind of upset if they came with just generic Dreamcell insoles, but I would have been really pissed off if they came with the even worse version insoles that they sometimes give you, like just those paper filling insoles, just absolute garbage, hot trash. I'm glad they came correct. In the box of the shoe, a 20-year anniversary box, postcard with the La Brea flagship store of Undefeated. You see the back here, and Jordan Brand and Undefeated branding on the paper. I will say though, and that's maybe me just being an entitled nitpicky, but I do think the box could have been a little bit more exciting. I know there's custom branding in the middle, but something more exciting would have been really nice. And instead of a Nike hang tag here, you get a Undefeated Jumpman hang tag. And in terms of sizing and comfort for recent Jordan 4s in the past year or two, I've just stuck true to size despite my big, fat, wide, ugly feet. Before that, some Jordan 4s came with like a very, very narrow toe box. It would just absolutely decimate the pinky toe area. Recent ones, in terms of that area anyway, hasn't really been an issue. But underfoot, just 2 Nike Air units, nothing much, very ancient technology. The Jordan 4s just feel very kind of stiff, kind of boxy, kind of clunky. It is, out of Jordan 1 to 14, by far, I think, the most uncomfortable one. Sometimes you get a jam and it feels a little bit more comfortable. A blanket rule, like a generalization, Jordan 4s are not super comfortable. Thankfully, it does come with a polyurethane insole for this shoe. Adds a little bit more comfort. But overall, as a whole, like Jordan 3s, I think 5s, 13s, 14s, 11s run small for me, so I have to go up half a size. But I think underfoot, more comfortable than this. So yeah, if you are getting this shoe for comfort, first of all, why? There's just so much more to the shoe than like comfort. But if like average comfort is a deal breaker for you, probably spend your hard-earned money somewhere else. And that brings the total sole score of the Jordan 4 Undefeated to 38 out of 50, a pretty high score compared to other collaborations. Now first, it is colorway. Like I said, you remove like what this shoe actually means in sneaker history, the significance of it all, just looking at this on a shelf in a vacuum. Olive has always been one of my favorite colors. I've said this before in past videos. This is beautiful. Do I love the hints of orange? No, I might have chose a different color to replace that orange, but small amounts, doesn't matter. The black on olive though, it is just Michelin star rated, absolutely delicious. And in terms of the materials, really nice nubuck here. I did expect slightly better materials for the shoe. It is a very special release, feels very nice to the touch. And in terms of the comfort, the Jordan 4s just, honestly, no matter what, they're just not going to be the most comfortable for my feet. This one, the polyurethane midsole did come kind of stiff out of the box, but at least the Jordan 4s in the past year or two, they fixed the mold and the shape, so it doesn't strangle my pinky toe anymore. But underfoot, it just feels kind of boxy, not my favorite in terms of comfort. But there are some things worth sacrificing the pain of your foot for. This is one of those shoes. And in terms of the versatility, Jordan 4s, in terms of the silhouette, crazy wearable. Wear this anywhere. No one's gonna think twice. It is beautiful. And in terms of the wearability of the colorway though, I think olive is one of those colors, excluding like black, white, shades of gray, that is still super wearable. So like if you have an all red shoe, all blue shoe, it's kind of like out there, kind of bold, but olive is kind of neutral enough where it blends in or it goes with a lot of different outfits that it still looks really nice. So I actually think this is a pretty versatile shoe. Hints of orange. It's not so bold where you're like, this guy's wearing pumpkins on his feet, unless you wear like the orange laces. But still, I think overall in terms of the versatility as a whole, yeah, very wearable shoe. In terms of the storytelling, the shoe doesn't like throw storytelling or branding in your face. Undefeated branding on the insole as well as the box and the kind of hang tag that it comes with. And honestly, that's about it. There's nothing like on the tongue, there's nothing like on the booty of the shoe like you're used to with A Ma Maniére shoes, but you do see the inspiration of this shoe come out and come through if you know the inspiration. So I like that there. You get a special kind of box. Not too crazy though. I think the box could have maybe been a little bit more special, like something more bomber jacket related. So good storytelling, but not the best. I feel like I've expressed this sentiment a few times in 2025. Just an absolute beast of a year. Can't believe I have this shoe. So I got the Foamposite Galaxies, Jordan 5 Tokyos, both shoes that I never thought I was able to get as an adult. Now these. Where does this rank amongst all the kind of grail or upper echelon of sneakers that have returned this year? Oh, this might be the best one. Yeah, I don't know. I am a Jordan 5 lover and it's my favorite sneaker, so maybe I'm a little biased towards the Tokyos as well as the Black Tongue Fire Reds, but this is right up there. I can't choose. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what you think of the undefeated Jordan 4. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.